Ludwig Feuerbach offers a daring perspective on religion. His radical insight forces us to consider that what we often fear might just be our own reflection. In the early 19th century, Feuerbach emerged as a pivotal figure in philosophy. He challenged long-held religious views and faced considerable backlash. His ideas were bold, and his approach was revolutionary for his time. Born in Germany in 1804, Ludwig Feuerbach came from a family deeply embedded in academia. His father was a distinguished jurist while his brother excelled in science. Feuerbach himself initially studied theology. However, he soon shifted his focus to philosophy, seeking a greater understanding of human nature. His intellectual journey was turbulent, often leading him into conflict with the religious establishment. Feuerbach was a student of the philosopher Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, a towering figure in German philosophy. Although influenced by Hegel, Feuerbach eventually broke away from his teacher's ideas. He critiqued Hegel's abstract notions, believing them to be detached from human experience. For Feuerbach, philosophy needed to be grounded in human life, not abstract ideals. In his most famous work, The Essence of Christianity, published in 1841, Feuerbach presented his core argument. He proposed that God is not an independent being, but rather a projection of human qualities. According to Feuerbach, humans unknowingly attribute their own values and desires to a divine figure. This projection serves as a mirror, reflecting our own nature back at us. Feuerbach's argument was bold and controversial. He claimed that by understanding God as a human projection, we gain a deeper insight into ourselves. For him, religion was not about divine mysteries, but about human wishes and aspirations. This perspective flipped traditional religious thought on its head. It shifted the focus from a supernatural deity to human psychology and emotions. Despite the controversy, Feuerbach argued his ideas were liberating. He believed that recognizing God as a projection helped demystify religion. It allowed individuals to see the divine as an expression of human ideal. This recognition, he thought, empowered people to take responsibility for their own values, rather than attributing them to a distant deity. Feuerbach's thesis was met with criticism and resistance. Many argued that his views reduced the divine to mere human psychology. Critics felt his ideas stripped away the sacred nature of religious belief. They saw it as an assault on the divine mystery that many hold dear. Yet, Feuerbach remained steadfast in his belief that his approach made religion more relatable. Instead of diminishing the divine significance, he saw his perspective as elevating human potential. Feuerbach argued that by understanding our projections, we could become better individuals. He believed that acknowledging our desires and ideals as human creations allowed us to aspire to them more genuinely. This insight encouraged people to work towards embodying those ideals in their own lives. Feuerbach's ideas also shed light on the origins of religion itself. He believed that religion emerged from the human need to externalize emotions and ideals. According to him, people have always sought to make sense of their existence. Religion provided a framework to articulate hopes, fears, and aspirations. By giving shape to these abstract emotions, religion offered comfort and guidance. Feuerbach's analysis suggested that the divine served as a canvas for humanity's deepest concerns. He argued that understanding this process could help us appreciate the psychological depth of religious belief. By externalizing their emotions, people found a way to address their inner struggles and desires. This perspective highlights how intertwined human psychology is with religious expression. Though Feuerbach's views were radical for his time, they resonate with contemporary discussions about the nature of belief. His work invites us to reconsider what we often take for granted in religious narratives. Feuerbach's insight prompts us to question if our conceptions of God are more about us than about the divine. It challenges us to explore the human roots of our spiritual beliefs. Feuerbach's philosophy encourages a shift in focus from the divine to the human. By doing so, it invites us to explore the depth of our own nature. His work offers a lens through which to examine the interplay between our desires and the divine figures we create. This perspective does not diminish the value of religious belief. Instead, it adds a layer of understanding to how and why we believe. In a world where religious beliefs often drive significant parts of our lives, Feuerbach's ideas remain relevant. They provide a framework to examine how much of our spirituality is intertwined with human nature. His radical insight continues to invite reflection on what it means to be human. Understanding our projections can lead to greater self-awareness. It can also foster a deeper connection with the ideals we strive for. Feuerbach's philosophy extends beyond a mere critique of religious thought. It provides a profound exploration of human nature. Critics often argued that his views reduced the divine to mere human psychology. To them, this approach seemed to strip away the sacred and mysterious aspects of religious belief. They felt that by doing so, Feuerbach undermined the transcendental and eternal qualities associated with divinity. Fearful of losing the spiritual essence that many cherished, detractors viewed his ideas as a fundamental threat to traditional religious paradigms. Yet, Feuerbach insisted that his perspective did not diminish the divine's significance. Rather, he believed it made religious beliefs more relatable and accessible. By focusing on human psychology, Feuerbach aimed to ground religious ideas in tangible human experience. He argued that by seeing God as a reflection of human ideals, people could find greater meaning in their spiritual pursuits. This relatability, he contended, offered a deeper connection with the values and aspirations embedded in religious narratives. Feuerbach believed that understanding the divine as a projection could elevate human potential. He saw it as a path to self-improvement and genuine engagement with ideal. His ideas prompt us to question if our conceptions of God are more about us than the divine itself. Feuerbach challenged individuals to examine the roots of their spiritual beliefs. He encouraged a reflection on how much these beliefs are shaped by human desires and fears. In doing so, Feuerbach opened a dialogue about the nature of belief itself. His philosophy invites us to consider the possibility that religious narratives might be more deeply entwined with human psychology than previously acknowledged. This introspection pushes us to explore the human elements within our spiritual frameworks. Feuerbach's critique does not seek to invalidate religious belief. Instead, it enriches our understanding by highlighting the human dimension of spirituality. By acknowledging the projections of our desires onto the divine, we can foster deeper self-awareness. This understanding allows us to engage with the ideals presented in religious thought more authentically. It invites us to aspire to embody these values in our daily lives. Feuerbach's insight encourages us to take responsibility for the ideals we project and to work towards realizing them genuinely. In examining the divine as a human projection, Feuerbach's philosophy challenges us to reflect on our motivations. It asks us to question whether our spiritual pursuits are driven by an external divine force or by our internal desires and aspirations. This reflection can lead to a more profound engagement with our beliefs. By understanding that the divine might mirror our own nature, we can approach spirituality with greater authenticity. Feuerbach's ideas prompt us to see religious belief not as a distant or abstract concept, but as an intimate part of our human experience. His philosophy also highlights the potential for personal growth within the framework of religious belief. By recognizing our projections, we can strive to fulfill the ideals we value. This pursuit can lead to a more meaningful and genuine engagement with our spiritual aspirations. Feuerbach believed that by understanding the human roots of our beliefs, we could become better individuals. It challenges us to embody the values we hold dear and to live in accordance with them. This introspection can foster a deeper connection with our spirituality and with others who share our beliefs. Feuerbach's radical insight continues to resonate in contemporary discussions about belief and human nature. In a world where religious beliefs often drive significant aspects of our lives, his ideas remain relevant. They provide a framework to examine the intricate relationship between human nature and spirituality. His philosophy invites reflection on the profound connections between our desires, values, and spiritual beliefs. By exploring these connections, we can gain a richer understanding of what it means to be human. Feuerbach's work challenges us to engage in a dialogue about the essence of belief. It encourages us to examine the depth of our own nature and the ideals we project onto the divine. This exploration can lead to greater self-awareness and a more authentic engagement with our spirituality. His philosophy invites us to explore the interplay between our human desires and the divine figures we create. By doing so, we can foster a deeper connection with the ideals we strive for and with the communities that share our beliefs. As we continue to navigate the complexities of belief and spirituality, Feuerbach's ideas offer a valuable perspective. They encourage us to reflect on the interplay between human psychology and religious expression. His radical insight invites us to question the assumptions we hold about the divine and to explore the human elements within our spiritual narrative. In doing so, Feuerbach's philosophy encourages us to embrace the potential for personal growth and a deeper understanding of our beliefs. Join us next time to explore more philosophical insights on human belief and understanding. As always, thank you for listening. In the 19th century, Germany was a hub of intellectual activity and social change. The country was experiencing rapid industrialization and urbanization. This led to shifts in economic and social structures. These changes fostered an environment ripe for questioning long-held beliefs. The rise of secularism was a significant feature of this period. Increasingly, people began to challenge the traditional authority of the church. They sought explanations beyond religious doctrine. This intellectual climate was influenced by the Enlightenment. Reason and empirical evidence became prized over faith. Feuerbach's philosophy emerged in this context. He was deeply affected by the works of Hegel, yet he diverged from his predecessor's idealism. Feuerbach focused on material reality and human experience. His ideas reflected broader trends of the time. Many intellectuals were beginning to see religion as a human construct. They viewed it as a projection of human needs and desires. The growing emphasis on individual reason and scientific inquiry provided fertile ground for Feuerbach's critique of theology. As we delve into Feuerbach's critique of traditional theology in the next section, we will see how he sought to demystify religious beliefs and reveal their human origins. Feuerbach's critique of traditional theology focuses on the idea that God is not an independent, transcendent being, but a projection of human nature. He contends that attributes ascribed to God, such as omnipotence and omniscience, are magnified reflections of human quality. According to Feuerbach, theology mistakenly externalizes what is fundamentally internal, thus creating a divine figure that distracts from human self-understanding. Feuerbach argues that this projection leads to religious dogma that alienates individuals from their own essence. In his view, religious doctrines perpetuate the illusion of a transcendent God, which undermines human potential and agency. For example, the concept of divine benevolence mirrors humanity's aspiration for compassion and care. But when externalized, it diminishes the individual's responsibility to cultivate these virtues in themselves. The implications of Feuerbach's critique are profound. They suggest that religious belief systems serve more to fulfill psychological needs than to apprehend any supernatural reality. By reclaiming these projections, Feuerbach believes that humanity can achieve a more authentic understanding of itself. This line of thought sets the stage for exploring concrete examples of how human attributes are projected onto religious constructs, which we will explore in the following section. Feuerbach contends that humans project their own qualities and desires onto the divine. This projection is evident across various religious traditions. For instance, consider the gods of ancient Greece. Zeus, often depicted as powerful and authoritative, mirrors human ideals of leadership and strength. Similarly, in Hinduism, deities like Vishnu, Shiva embody attributes such as preservation and destruction, reflecting essential aspects of human life and societal needs. In Christianity, the concept of an all-loving God parallels humanity's desire for unconditional love and acceptance. The image of God as a father figure resonates with human experiences of paternal care and guidance. This projection is not limited to benevolent qualities. The wrathful aspects of God found in the Old Testament reflect human emotions of anger and retribution. Feuerbach argues that these divine qualities are extensions of human consciousness. They reveal more about human needs and aspirations than about any external divine reality. This perspective invites us to examine how such projections influence our understanding of theology itself. Next, we will compare Feuerbach's ideas with those of other philosophers, offering a broader context for his critique. Feuerbach's critique of religion intersects intriguingly with the thoughts of his contemporaries, Hegel and Marx. Hegel viewed religion as a stage in the development of human consciousness, where the divine idea unfolds in history. For Hegel, religion was a manifestation of the absolute spirit, an embodiment of truth progressing towards self-realization. In contrast, Feuerbach saw religion as an expression of human desires, a projection of idealized human traits onto a divine being. While Hegel emphasized the dialectical progression of spirit, Feuerbach grounded his analysis in human psychology and material conditions. On the other hand, Marx adopted Feuerbach's notion of projection, but redirected it to critique economic and social structures. Marx argued that religion serves as an opiate, a tool used by ruling classes to maintain power and control. He dismissed Feuerbach's focus on religious alienation as insufficient, suggesting instead that material conditions and class struggle drive human history. Thus, while both Feuerbach and Marx critiqued religion, Marx extended the critique to a broader socio-economic context. Feuerbach's emphasis on human nature and projection set the stage for these debates. This divergence highlights the broader philosophical tension between idealism and materialism. Next, we explore the strongest objection Feuerbach faced: the loss of transcendence. Feuerbach's philosophy suggests that the divine is merely a reflection of human ideals. This view raises a significant objection. It risks stripping spirituality of its transcendent essence. Critics argue that by reducing God to a projection of human qualities, Feuerbach eliminates the mysterious and infinite nature of divinity. For many, the appeal of spirituality lies in its ability to connect individuals to something greater and beyond human understanding. When God is seen as no more than a mirror of humanity, the sacred becomes mundane, and the profound experience of transcendence may diminish. This concern moves beyond academic discourse, touching on deeply personal spiritual experiences. Transcendence is often described as a pivotal aspect of religious life. It offers solace and meaning that transcend human limitations. Feuerbach's critics worry that, without this sense of the divine, spirituality loses its transformative power and becomes an exercise in self-reflection. As we consider this objection, we must ask, does Feuerbach's critique dismantle an essential part of what it means to engage with the divine? In response to these critiques, Feuerbach himself provides insights and counter-arguments, which we will examine next. Feuerbach's response to the critique of losing transcendence centers on the human potential for empowerment and moral development. For him, recognizing that the divine attributes are human projections does not diminish spirituality, but rather transforms it into a profound appreciation of human quality. He argues that by understanding God as a reflection of human ideals, individuals can cultivate these ideals within themselves. Such a shift, Feuerbach suggests, encourages moral growth and self-improvement. Feuerbach believes that this realization of human agency and spirituality enhances the ethical dimension of religion. By acknowledging that love, compassion, and justice are human constructs, people are motivated to embody these virtues more authentically. This approach, according to Feuerbach, does not strip spirituality of its meaning, but rather grounds it in tangible human experience, making it more relevant and actionable. A vivid detail in Feuerbach's thought is his assertion that true religion should aim to elevate humanity rather than defer to an abstract deity. This perspective invites a re-evaluation of religious practices, steering them towards human-centric goals. As we delve into his influence on modern thought, we will explore how these ideas resonate with contemporary philosophical and spiritual movements. Feuerbach's philosophy has left a lasting imprint on modern thought, particularly within secular humanism. His assertion that the divine is a projection of human qualities has encouraged a turn towards human-centered ethics. This move laid the groundwork for secular humanism, which emphasizes human welfare over supernatural concerns. Feuerbach's ideas also prefigured the work of Sigmund Freud, who viewed religion as an illusion rooted in psychological needs. Freud's theory of religion as a collective neurosis echoes Feuerbach's notion of projection. Friedrich Nietzsche, another thinker influenced by Feuerbach, took his critique of religion further. Nietzsche declared the death of God, suggesting that traditional religious beliefs were no longer tenable in a modern, rational world. He saw this as an opportunity for individuals to create their own values, a task that aligns with Feuerbach's vision of self-empowerment. The impact of Feuerbach's ideas extends to contemporary theology, where some theologians seek to reconcile human experience with spiritual beliefs, often focusing on social justice and community welfare. This human-centric approach to spirituality continues to evolve, as we will see in its application within contemporary spiritual practices, which we will discuss next. Modern spiritual practices increasingly reflect Feuerbach's insights by emphasizing personal growth and community engagement. In many spiritual communities today, there is a shift away from dogmatic adherence to traditional doctrines towards practices that foster individual development and collective well-being. This mirrors Feuerbach's belief that religious ideas are projections of human desires and ideals. For instance, mindfulness and meditation practices, often rooted in religious traditions, are now utilized to enhance self-awareness and emotional health. These practices encourage individuals to look inward, aligning with Feuerbach's view that self-reflection is crucial for personal transformation. By focusing on inner growth, spiritual practitioners can cultivate virtues such as empathy and compassion, which benefit the community as a whole. Additionally, contemporary religious groups frequently engage in social justice initiatives. These efforts reflect a commitment to community welfare and mirror Feuerbach's humanistic emphasis. By addressing societal issues, spiritual communities embody the projection of humanity's highest value. In this way, Feuerbach's philosophy not only informs personal spirituality, but also promotes communal resilience. As we explore further, the integration of his ideas continues to shape how spirituality is practiced today, paving the way for a deeper understanding of human potential in spiritual contexts. In synthesizing Feuerbach's philosophy with contemporary belief systems, we can encourage introspection and societal progress. By recognizing that religious beliefs are projections of human ideals, individuals may gain clearer insights into their spiritual motivations. This introspection fosters authenticity and personal growth, as one aligns beliefs with intrinsic values rather than external dogmas. On a societal level, integrating Feuerbach's ideas could stimulate dialogue on shared values, promoting unity in diversity. By focusing on the common human ideals reflected in various religious practices, communities may strengthen their bonds and work towards collective goals. This integration supports a pluralistic society where differences are celebrated and commonalities are emphasized. Moreover, Feuerbach's emphasis on human potential invites us to reassess our contributions to societal welfare. By channeling the virtues we attribute to divine figures into real-world actions, we transform abstract ideals into tangible improvements in our communities. This actionable philosophy encourages both individual and societal transformation, bridging the gap between belief and practice. As we delve deeper into the practical application of these ideas, the potential for transformative spiritual practices becomes evident, leading us to question how these philosophies might reshape our future engagements with spirituality and community. In contemplating the fusion of philosophy and spirituality, we uncover a path to more meaningful personal and communal growth. This integration not only guides us in aligning our actions with our ideals, but also offers a framework for collective progress. By embracing these philosophies, we find a renewed sense of purpose that extends beyond mere contemplation. It challenges us to act with intention and empathy, fostering environments where both individual and societal transformation can thrive. Such a journey invites us to reimagine our potential and the impact we can have on the world around us. As we continue to explore these intersections, let us consider how these philosophical insights might inspire us to cultivate deeper connections and more inclusive communities. Join us next time as we further unravel the intricate ties between thought and action and their implications for our shared future.